It is Woodhouse here with you for another Wings of Liberty VOD. This one coming from the BWC, and this time spawning on a map that is a little more familiar to us. We have, starting down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we do have Acer Scarlett. And her opponent spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map, down 0-1 in this series, we do have the Blue Protoss player, former Code S, the Kingslayer himself. We have NaNiwa. So this map is Entombed Valley, not Entombed. Thank you, Pro League. It's not Entombed Valley, it's Entombed Valley. So we do have the neutral supply depots. We're going to have to see how both of these players decide to play this out. This map, notorious for Protoss players for being a map that you can take a really, really easy third on. Obviously, if you look down here, just some destructible rocks, pretty easily managed choke point, and a quick third. So this has been considered a Protoss map in a lot of ways, and actually NaNiwa was an interesting pylon placement here, actually opting to place it behind his mineral patch, so shortest walk distance for those probes before they have to go back and mine. Scarlett, on the other hand, just continuing to drone up. We're going to have to see if she does decide to go for the hatchery first like she did last time, and into roaches and infestors. She got really, really lucky in the last game having infestors pop out right as NaNiwa pushed, and it was enough to save basically the game for her, and I bet you she was feeling really happy about that afterwards. So the spawning pool for Scarlett at the moment, just about a quarter of the way done. NaNiwa, on the other hand, looking like he's going to go for, is this the 20 food expand? It is the 20 food expand. Not quite a 20 food, but characterized by Huck early on. Actually, I would say it's midway through Wings of Liberty, able to get that Nexus down. Now, both players still have not scouted each other. I'm assuming they know that it's cross positions because most of the tournament maps for this map are, wow, I messed that up. Let me think about that one for a second. Most of the tournament maps are forced cross spawn. This one wasn't for a long time. I believe it is now. I'm sorry for the issue in wordage there. And we do see a Forge going down for NaNiwa, so fast Nexus into Forge, gonna just cannon up the front. Pretty standard stuff so far. Scarlett's hatchery is about halfway done. The spawning pool is done. And there we go. We see the gateways and the cannons going down for NaNiwa. And here we do see it, Scarlett with the quick third. So see, this is exactly kind of what I had pushed at. You know, you can take this really quick natural, you have plenty of time to take a third, and actually Scarlett taking it in relatively quick fashion. We're only at 4 minutes into this game and Scarlett's already getting a third base up. That's a very, very fast third. We're going to see if it actually pays off in the long run though. First gateway just about done for NaNiwa, taking double gas in his main. I wonder if he's going to go for the same play that he did last time and go for a Stargate play. We did see yet again how vulnerable the Stargate can be, especially if your opponent knows it's coming. But I mean, even at this point with most Zerg players who doesn't think about Phoenixes even just a little bit. Cybernetics core coming down for NaNiwa, so pretty standard stuff so far outside of the Nexus first. Scarlett's natural is up. The third is just about up. First assimilator coming out as well. These lings from Scarlett are going to get shut down here at the front. She does lose one, does not lose the second one. But at this point, Scarlett has complete map control. She has an Overlord sitting over here on the side of NaNiwa's base, knowing that there's nothing crazy going on. She has lings sitting out in the middle of the map. She has actually pretty much complete control of the map at this point. Scarlett also has an Overlord. Oh my god, I can't English today. An Overlord sitting at the back of NaNiwa's base, going to just keep poking up here at the front, see what all she can get. First stock for NaNiwa going to come out, and the third for Scarlett is just now done. Oh, and this time actually NaNiwa's shying completely away from the Stargate play. Where does that go down? Right there, we do have the robotics facility going down. NaNiwa taking his third gas. I didn't come up here to check either. Okay, he does have 3 on both. Occasionally players will be sneaky and put 2 guys on each guy early on in the game if they want a lot of gas really, really quickly. You see 2 more gateways coming down. So is this going to be the parting style of Immortal All-In that we see, or we have seen, and we are actually seeing Zerg players learn how to deal with? And the stock are going to come down here and find out, oh my god, there's a third. NaNiwa might actually be shitting his pants right now. Actually, I doubt it. These guys are incredibly good at just keeping their cool in even the most crazy situations. Otherwise, they wouldn't be professionals. The Stalker probably going to get away with most of its hull damage, or most of its hull life, if not all of it. And as I say that, he is losing a bunch. But now map control kind of shifting back towards a balance. This is a lot of lings, though, that NaNiwa does not want to engage on creep. You see one Immortal out, 2 Immortals out. Warp Gate just about finished for NaNiwa as well. He is sitting on 3 gateways. I would like to see him push up to something like 5 gateways, maybe even 6, and just go from there. If he is in fact doing it all in. If he's not doing it all in, then this is probably perfect. Level 1 weapons on the way. Warp Gate is just about done. Third Immortal on the way for NaNiwa, so it is looking like he's going to gear up to do some sort of an Immortal timing push here. And this poor Stalker from NaNiwa, he never had a chance. Out in the middle of the map, Scarlett regaining map control with all these Overlords, and we do see 3 more gateways going down for NaNiwa. So this is possibly going to be the all-in that I was talking about earlier. The parting style heavy sentry count. And yes, as I say that, he does warp in 3 more sentries. So we're looking at probably some sort of an Immortal Sentry all-in push, and yes, it is going to be that. Warp Prism is kind of the dead giveaway. We do see 2 more gateways getting tacked down now for NaNiwa. So right now, actually, everything on NaNiwa's end is playing out exactly as kind of predicted. Scarlett, on the other hand, is morphing an Overseer and is going to continue to fly in and just throw everything down. Scarlett is actually going to be in for a rude awakening here very, very quickly. Seeing that there are 6 gateways right there, she still has not scouted the back of the base. She knows that there's a forge somewhere because there's a cannon up front, but the push from NaNiwa is coming out, so it is an Immortal Sentry all in. This is one of those pushes to where it basically has to win, otherwise NaNiwa is going to be playing from way far behind all the way through the rest of this game. Nice warp in here from NaNiwa, more sentries and zealots, so this is very, very parting-esque. But the Roach is splitting around. Oh, nice force field by NaNiwa, keeping everything out, but those lings do manage to get through. He does manage to partition off the Roaches fairly well, and actually really well, forcing the Roaches to retreat a little bit. That gives NaNiwa just a little bit of breathing room here to warp in another round of units. Although, look at his economy. He has enough to continue to warp in Zealots. He's warping in 3 more. This is kind of the beauty and parting style of play. And I say this because this build, if you don't know, it was basically very well thought out, very well planned out by parting, and it kind of won him a GSL. So, oh, losing an Immortal, losing almost 2 Immortals. Oh my god, he did lose 2 Immortals. And this is the glory in this build. You have so many sentries, you can just continue to wall off that ramp, force units to come around, and you can deal with them in stride. 1 Immortal now left. That Immortal does look like is going to get just focus fired down here, and no, actually NaNiwa with the amazing micro. Scarlett might actually be able to clean this up, and if she does, that's going to be a huge blow for NaNiwa, losing all of those units. More micro play. The units from Scarlett going to go ahead and continue to clean up everything, but a nice big warp in his Zealots. Oh my god, NaNiwa, he might actually do it here with a little bit of Immortal micro. Getting that Immortal out of there, so he does realize that the push is gone. Look at the supply difference now. That was an impressive showing by NaNiwa, but I don't think it's going to be enough. As Caldor basically put it last night in the GSL, this is, and this wasn't pertaining to either one of these players, but it is now Scarlett's game to lose. NaNiwa lost the main push, and as our good friend Eva Bloodcooker, now Noctum Bloodcooker, has stated many, many times, you know, if you fail an all-in push, it's kind of like a bad date. You don't want to keep dating that person. So with that, NaNiwa gonna kind of try and retreat back to his base, cut his losses, try and take a third, try and get some Colossi out would probably be a logical next step for him. And we do see, a Hydralisk Den coming out now for Scarlett. NaNiwa trying to be super tricksy with this Immortal. If I were him, I would just go home with it, because at least at that point, you know the Immortal is safe. It's not something crazy. So we do see more Immortals continuing to get pumped out for NaNiwa. And this is actually a really vulnerable spot for NaNiwa to be in. He does go ahead and try and get his own third, but he doesn't have a Colossus support bay out. You know, at this point, the supply is catching up. NaNiwa's still behind by about 30-some supply. Scarlett just continuing to pump units. 7 Hydras on the way. This is going to be kind of rough for NaNiwa to deal with. This is just going to be a lot of units busting down either the front or the natural. That is one downside to this map, is you have to choose which to defend. You can see they're really, really close to each other. Oh, but NaNiwa with the suboptimal, and oh, that was actually some really good force fields by NaNiwa. Scarlett losing some units, but at the same time, I don't know that it was necessarily that big of a deal. Again, Scarlett going to go ahead and take her 4th down here. Pretty easy place to take a 4th as Zerg, especially when you have creep connecting everything. I mean, look at this map. Scarlett with the amazing creep spread right now. That hatchery is going down. This hatchery did not fall. I'm sure Scarlett was thankful for that. Now, here comes the moment where you have to choose as a Protoss player. Do you want to defend this natural ramp, which right now NaNiwa has wide open? He's going to put a cannon there, but it's not going to be enough. And Scarlett actually knowing exactly what's going on. She must have spotted the warp prism somewhere along the line. Going to have units in place to deal with this drop. It's just 4 zealots, but it's still very, very annoying. Warp prism does get taken down there again. Another significant loss for NaNiwa. Robotics facility, or robotics bay coming out now. And NaNiwa also getting down to Twilight Council. Spire coming out now, and oh, the Ling run by before the cannon can finish. They're going to be able to take that cannon. No, they don't take the cannon down. Oh, able to trap a few Lings. NaNiwa with a good force fields. His force fields have been spot on all game. Which brings up a funny story about NaNiwa's force fields, which I won't tell. More good force fields by NaNiwa, able to trap a few units. Well, we have a couple seconds of downtime. It was a GSL match with NaNiwa, and Artosis was praising NaNiwa's force field control, and then the next set of the game, NaNiwa placed a force field like right in the middle of the map, or right in the middle of the ramp, so everything could just flood around it. It was kind of an entertaining thing. I'm sure you had to see it to think it was as funny as I do right now, but that's okay. 5th base for Scarlett coming up now, so it is 5-3. Right now, Scarlett, like I said, it's Scarlett's game to lose right now, and NaNiwa's game to try and win. That sounds really dumb now that I've said it, but at this point, like, literally Scarlett has to just trade so ineffectively and not be able to reproduce anything, and she has to lose so many workers. Like right now, if we look at the worker count, 89 to 68 right now, literally Scarlett's game to lose. We have Colossi range just about on the way, Blink coming in, another Colossus, and level 2 weapons coming out for NaNiwa. So right now, literally, if the shit hit the fan for Scarlett, and somehow she ended up with DTs in her base and just never thought about it, she would be in a position to lose. But I don't think that's going to happen. Scarlett, throughout her playing career, has seemed like a player that's very, very on top of it. We do have some infestors gathering up here towards the front. Pulling Isusuke right here, leading with the infestors. That's a pretty standard play if you want to, lead. If you want your infestors to do the most maximum damage they can. Isusuke. Bringing the infestors back, spreading his units out. He's gonna. I think she's going to go check for expansions, but she also might be sacrificing units for the sake of supply. Scarlett gonna pull back now, actually doing what most Zergs do, and that's just build spine crawlers. When you have that many units, you're getting ready to tech into Broodlords, you might as well just build spines. Greater Spire is just now finishing for Scarlett as well, and NaNiwa pushing across the map. This is a fairly scary push for Scarlett to deal with. I mean, like, this is kind of the Protoss player nightmare, though. Like, where do you attack into this exactly? I mean, yeah, you've got Colossi, but then this happens. You have Zerg Swarm. This is actually going to be really, really scary with the Viper come Heart of the Swarm. One Colossi goes down. NaNiwa needs to do a little bit of the micro in action. And actually, Scarlett able to deal with this push from NaNiwa fairly effectively. We do get another warp in coming around back here. One fungal growth goes down. The infested Terrans go down. Ooh, this might hurt. It might hurt a lot. And NaNiwa not overextending, but also kind of in a pretty sour position. Now, Scarlett did have to remax. She's waiting for 16 roaches to pop out. Does have a big enough army to continue to deal with this. She also has one Broodlord morphing. And uh-oh. NaNiwa found the weakness. Oh, shit. Oh, there's spine crawlers there. Yay, spine crawlers. And this is actually just kind of a weird position for NaNiwa to be in as a whole. He's going to blink in and snipe some of these infestors. Blink is actually used up for now. Scarlett actually with a good concave of infested Terrans back there. And look at this, Scarlett just throwing units into this push and actually able to do quite a bit of damage. Forcing NaNiwa to back up yet again. We do have another warp in, but we can see NaNiwa's money not looking so hot. Scarlett again in kind of a weird spot. She does have these roaches up here on the north side. NaNiwa just continuing to bounce back and forth to make Scarlett move her spine crawlers. Very, very good play on his part. Very good map awareness of where the openings and choke points are on this map. You see the army. Oh my god. One immortal gets targeted down. Two immortals get targeted down. And the blink play from NaNiwa, third Colossi coming in now. Two Broodlords out on the map, but it is not going to be enough. Scarlett might have actually lost this game. NaNiwa continuing to warp in Stalkers. This is still a very, very big, scary push for Scarlett. Oh, and the blink right onto the Broodlords, taking out two, taking out three. Scarlett, you need to protect those. For the Swarm, more of the just zerging action. One more Colossi does go down. NaNiwa has enough to warp in some Zealots, even some more Stalkers, so that 3-base play is very, very effective. We do have, oh, Scarlett going to lose her natural. Not a good moment. Not a good moment. But she can cut off the reinforcements if she does decide. Oh my god! Two spine crawlers go down. A third goes down. And actually, this might end up being a GG for Scarlett. Like I said earlier, for NaNiwa, when he lost that push, it was a very scary moment for him. But we do see him pushing up here now into the main of Scarlett. Scarlett not able to reproduce as fast as she would want to here. Blinking out, taking out both of the Broodlords that are left. Scarlett just did not hit that timing window. Supply right now is still in the favor of Scarlett, but I don't know how much longer Scarlett can continue this this just rampant defense. NaNiwa has enough to warp in more Stalkers, which I believe he's doing. He did tack down some more gateways. We did have 10 Stalkers inbound. So right now, Scarlett losing supply left and right, does not have the money to reproduce it. I would expect a GG at any point here from Scarlett. This was, in fact, Scarlett's game to lose, and there's the GG. So with that, the series is tied up 1-1. NaNiwa and Scarlett, stay tuned for episode number 3 of this series. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button below, subscribe and comment, tell me what I can do better. Also, if you want your replays casted, make sure you follow the links below as well.